Hello everybody, I'm filming the last video today. It's been a marathon of filming today and I'm like sweltering hot at this point. But I'm excited to share with you our review of our group subjects for 2023. If you are a new face here, my name is Christine and I am a homeschooling mom of 3. And I love to share homeschool content. That is what this channel is all about, this homeschool house. I stick pretty strictly to homeschool content plus whatever is going on in my life, which some of you are interested in. I'm sure some of you are not, and that is totally fine, but I share for those of you who are. So today I'm going to be talking about our homeschool group subjects for 2023 and how they went. Before I say anything more, I'm also just going to put a little plug here for my email list, where I send out an email once a week and chat to you guys about what's going on in life. It's a little bit more personal, a little bit more behind the scenes. So if that's your cup of tea and you want to see more about us and sort of like first release information whenever I have it, then go ahead and sign up down below. I'll have it linked down in the description. Today, let's talk group subjects. So I have 3 kids who over this year ranged in age is 8, 6, and 4, mostly for most of the year. They're currently 8, 7, and 5, but for the most part, they were 8, 6, and 4. And it was mostly my 8-year-old and 6-year-old who did most of the stuff with me, but my 4-year-old did participate in a lot as well. But as far as like history and science, it was mostly the older 2, and that's totally fine. She's only 4. She doesn't have to be sitting there doing history and science with us. So let's chat. I think I'm gonna go like how I chronologically go through our day. So the first thing we always do is scripture memory, and I talked about this at the beginning of the year in our homeschool curriculum picks video. This has been a fantastic system. It's a system by Simply Charlotte Mason, and it's just a scripture memory system where you're just constantly reviewing and learning new scripture. Love it. It's something my children just know to expect every day. We start with this and we have memorized so many verses of the Bible. I need to like fill it up because I think, yeah, we have no more verses in here to memorize now. We're on our last one. So I'm going to print and laminate some more to add in there so we can learn some more scripture next year. But this has been a big hit. And so if you're interested in coming up and like doing scripture memory with your kids, highly recommend the system. It's so easy. It literally takes us like 5 minutes in the morning. So yeah, that's wonderful. The next thing we do is Bible, and that we have done through Sunlight this year. This is the 1-year Bible that we used, that we've gone through, and it's been good. It's been a good way of getting a general overview of the Bible and how things go chronologically and that kind of thing. My kids have enjoyed this. It's been fun hearing them say, oh, we learned about that in Sunday school, or oh yes, I know how that ties in with that, and like just seeing them connect the dots with a lot of things has been really great. So this doesn't take long for us to do, another 5 minutes. We do this over breakfast usually. It's been a good thing. And then we do poetry every morning. Now this is the poetry book that came with our Sunlight core. We did core K, but it's the old core, so it's now they've switched it around. So what used to be core K, or their level K, was American history, US history, and then when you did A, level A, that was in an introduction into world cultures, and they switched those two. And I do actually understand why they did that, and I'll talk about that when we get to the history portion. But like if you're confused, if you go to their website and look and you're like, well, that's not what Christine did this year, but she said she did level K. It's the old level K. So this is what came with that. And it's been great. So it's like a page or 2 a day. It's taken us the whole year to get through this. Lots of poetry. We really enjoyed it. The llama who had no pajama. It was really fun. So we would read that whenever it called for it. That was not... It actually wasn't a page or 2 every day. It was whenever they called for it. It was like once or twice a week. But then I've got these 2 books, which I love. Oh my goodness, they're so big and heavy though. They are near and dear to my heart. And I alternated these. So on even dates, we read this one. On odd dates, we read this one. And next year, I'll probably switch it around. And I love them. I love them so much. I've got some more poetry books though that I've picked up from op shops that I need to incorporate as well. And poetry takes such a short time, and so we can like do quite a lot of it. So I'll add in more next year probably, but these, again, big hit, love them both. And then we have literature, and this is our pile of books that we read together as a family this year. Now, there are a couple missing. One is The Boxcar Children. We actually skipped that because we read it last year, and so we skipped it. We do love that book, but it was just like so new in our minds. I didn't want to read it again yet. And the other one that's not in this pile is The Little House in the Big Woods, because I just got that out from our library, and so we're actually reading the last chapter of that tomorrow. But that's been a hit, and I thought I would just very quickly go through these and give you a yay or nay or okay kind of synopsis on all of them and what we thought. Anna Hibiscus, I think my kids enjoyed this. It was about a little girl who lives in Africa. It was an okay for me, but I think my kids mostly enjoyed it. This feelings book, I didn't get it at all. My kids were like, this is weird. Yeah, it was just like probably more of a nay than anything for us, but there wasn't anything overtly wrong with it. I just didn't like it. So there was that. Richard Scarry's Please and Thank You book. This is always going to be a hit in our house. We love Richard Scarry, so loved that book. Roxy and the Hooligans. This was a fun book. We enjoyed this one. This was very different, but we really enjoyed that. The Silver Balloon. We enjoyed this one. My son in particular really enjoyed this one. It was just fun. Just Dance. This one was just an okay one. I didn't love it, but it wasn't like terrible either. So yeah. A Heartwood Hotel. Loved this one. This is a beautiful story. If you want something really wholesome, it's a lovely book, and I know that there are more in the series. Dolphin Treasure. These were really fun. This one, and then there's another one, and they were really fun books. We enjoyed them. Franklin Endicott and the Third Key. This was just okay. I don't think it was like a big winner for us, but it wasn't terrible either. This is that other one from the Dolphin Adventures, and we did enjoy that. The Adventures of the South Pole Pig. This was a hit. We really liked this story. All of us enjoyed it. It was really fun and unexpected and different. It was good. A Grain of Rice. This was good. I mean, it wasn't like the South Pole Pig. Like, we loved that one, but it was interesting. And then The World According to Humphrey. We really enjoyed this. This was fun. Again, it was very different. And then Little House in the Big Woods. Big hit. I've actually read that to my kids before I read it to them a couple of years ago, but they were also little that it was easy enough to read to them again, and they've really enjoyed that. So that was the literature that we did together as a family. Loved Sunlight Literature. That was a big win. Okay, let's move on to, let's actually do Morning Virtues. So I don't know when I started doing this, but I picked up Morning Virtues from Gentle and Classical Press. I will have a link down to their website down below if I remember, hopefully. And we've done, I think, 3 of their units. So this is like, it's very Charlotte Mason-esque, and it does picture study, hymn study, handicraft, like all of those kinds of things that you can think of. Composer study, it's all in here. It's all done for you. It's a fantastic resource, and it's very affordable. And so we did 3 of them, and then we moved house, and honestly, I totally forgot about it. When we planned our final term for the year, I just completely forgot about it. So we did not do hymn study or anything like that in our final term, but it wasn't because we didn't like it. I just forgot about it, and my plate was full, obviously. But in generally speaking, highly recommend this. We've done some great relouds. I think our highlight one was The Sign of the Beaver. That was such a good reloud. I loved that one, and my son really enjoyed it. So, yeah, if you're looking for something like that, like, I mean, you can get the same kind of thing for free from Ambleside online, but it's a lot of more work to put together, whereas this is all done for you. It's all organized. There's a nice little schedule in there if you want to follow their schedule. It's really good. So do recommend that, and I want to pick it up in the new year. Okay, let's move on to history. So you'll see history, Core K, Exploring American History, and this is what we did this year. We're just about done. We're really close to finishing. Overall, I'm just fanning myself because I'm like dying of heat, guys. Overall, we've really enjoyed it. It has been a fantastic year for us. I've loved loved Sunlight. It's been such a good choice. And my kids have learned so much. So really enjoyed this. I'm going to go through the books that we read. This one we're almost finished. This is Granny Hand's Breakfast. Another missionary story, which I think I talked about in my daughter's preschool from Sunlight. They also had a missionary story. So this was really, really lovely. We're almost finished with this. That's based over in Asia. I can't remember exactly which. Is it Taiwan? It might be Taiwan. Can't remember. Anyway, her story has been really good, which she is an American missionary. That's why it ties into U.S. history. Then you've got The Very First Americans, which was good. Three Young Pilgrims. This was good. This was towards the beginning of the year. The kids enjoyed that. The New York Colony. My son really enjoyed this. He is obsessed with anything to do with the Army. And so all of the U.S. wars, he's really, really found fascinating, and he's just retained a lot of information. How We Crossed the West, I really enjoyed this. I've learned a lot because, I mean, I know some U.S. history, but this was just really good for getting into the details. This one the kids loved, Your Life as a Settler in Colonial America, because it was like, it was a child and it was their daily life. And so that was really great for the kids to be able to relate to. George versus George was super interesting. My son really enjoyed this. And so that was great. But I will say, I can understand why they switched the labels, because this is pretty advanced. I could not imagine a 5-year-old sitting down and listening to this very well. So there's just that to say about it. I can understand why. This was a big hit, the Magic Treehouse book. This was about the Civil War. Kids loved this. Like, my son would cry when we stopped reading the chapters because he was like, please, another one. And then these two books. These are Heroes and Happening. This has got like food on it. So sorry. It's real life, guys. It's gross. And these have been very interesting. They've got lots of stories of, like, you know, interesting Americans in American history. And not all Americans, but people who have impacted America. This has been really interesting. We're now on to the second one, book 2, and we're close to finishing this. And so those are all the history books that we have read this year, and it has been a big hit. I've been thrilled with our history. I think that my kids have learned a lot. I often see them like role-playing in games based on the history that we have learned about, and that has been so satisfying. So big thumbs up for Sunlight History. Totally would pick it again. It was a good curriculum fit for our family. And like, honestly, history takes like 10 minutes max, 4 days a week. So very, very simple. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next year. Okay, final part of family subjects is science. And we did their level K science. And this came with books. I did not get the science experiment pack because I could not get it shipped to New Zealand. There's stuff in it that the New Zealand government doesn't want coming across our borders. They're very, very strict on like seeds and anything like that. They just will not ship it here, which is totally fine. What we did end up doing was their science experiment videos. I will highly recommend them to anyone who asks. They're fantastic. My kids love the guy who does them. They're very interactive and engaging and just lots of fun. And it's like the highlight of their week when they get to watch that. So we got those instead of doing the experiments, and it's worked really well. And then it also came with like workbook pages, which are basically comprehension questions. And so my kids have done those through the year as well. I'll show you the books that we've gone through. We sort of started the year with all of these little ones, which we worked through slowly. Reptiles, what's this one? Weather, ants, rainforests, and bees and wasps. So we went through all these Osborne beginner books. These were fantastic. I feel like all 3 of my kids were learning from those. Very, very short reading time. I would say those were very age appropriate for like kindergarten level. I will say, I think that the workbook pages are not. There's a lot of writing in them. So if you are going to do it with a younger child, just be prepared that you are going to need to be the one writing in there for them, because they just won't be capable most likely, which is fine. We just made it work for us. Okay, so some other books that we've worked through. I'm trying to find ones that we did a little while ago. And I don't know. We've got Wangari. This one was really fun. My kids enjoyed this one. This was an interesting story and brought up some good discussion points. So that was really fun. We did this very recently, Forces That Make Things Move. This is a really good book. I enjoyed this. I thought it was very good at explaining concepts that might be difficult for kids to sort of grasp and understand. Really good. We're going through this one at the moment, and they kind of like pull things out of here. You don't necessarily read it in order. They kind of just pull out different pages. Why Do Elephants Need the Sun? We read that one, and that was fun. Honestly, we've enjoyed all the science books. This was a really fun one. All the Magic Schoolhouse books are fun. So we did that one. From Seed to Plant. This is a beautiful book and really good to have. And then there's their kindergarten science experiments books. We didn't use this at all because we didn't have the kit, and I just didn't feel the need to. So our science we do 4 days a week. So 3 days of the week is reading, and then the last day I would get the kids to watch the video, and they just loved that. It was so much fun for them. So science has been a big thumbs up this year. Really, really enjoyed it. And I just think that Sunlight Science is great for the ages of my kids at the moment, the younger ages, where you want it to be engaging and you want them to be learning something, but you don't want to have to spend like too much effort doing it all. And it's mostly literature based. It's fantastic. In general, our group subjects this year were a win. I really, really enjoyed Sunlight. It was a huge blessing to our family. Morning Virtues from Gentle and Classical Press, another big win. I really like their stuff. And just the bits and pieces that I've picked up have been good. Read Aloud's been fantastic. We've learned so much together. We've made some fun memories. We've got like private jokes now because, you know, you read the same things together and you can laugh at the same things together. So that's been really good. And I feel like because it's a 4-day week, it's been flexible enough for us when things have come up. I've been able to move things around. It's easy peasy to double up on lessons because they're really short. And so like doubling up has not felt heavy when we've needed to. So yeah, really happy with it. And I feel like we had this has probably been our strongest school year yet. And you know, that's with moving house in between. So I feel like that's saying a lot. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up. My voice is now, like, it wasn't great to start with, and it's now really tired after filming I don't know how many videos today. So anyway, if you do have questions for me, leave them down in the comments below. I will try and remember to link to things. Sunlight, I usually always have linked in the description. You get a $10 coupon if you're a new customer. So that is linked in the description for you, and I will link to Morning Virtues or to Gentle and Classical Press in general because they have lots of fantastic products to check out. But yeah, I think that is everything, and I look forward to bringing you my curriculum choices for the 2024 school year. So stay tuned, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no war.